guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over this great success story that was sent in from a subscriber. This from a guy, he's 29, and he actually wrote into me a few years ago, pretty early on when the channel was new, about the situation with his now ex-girlfriend. Things were obviously really bad with her at multiple fronts. He thought she was cheating, I thought she was cheating and all that, and he was essentially starting over. And he's done a great job, guys, since then, focusing on himself. Focusing on self-improvement, all areas like that in his life, and guess what? He's now kicking butt and taking names. And guess where his ex is? She ain't doing so well, which you're going to see at the end of this story here. And I thought I'd be going to go over here, guys, just to show you what happens when a guy, instead of doing what the narrative tells him to do, what girls tell guys to do, what movies and rom-coms and all that crap tells the guys to do, instead of making the girl the center of his universe and his priority and purpose, he makes himself self-improvement, going for his goals, his purpose, and guess what? Good things happen to his life. He's feeling good about himself, and guess what? The good ones come to him. Yeah, imagine that concept. So I thought we'd go over here, and I don't recall exactly. I remember this guy vaguely because it was years ago. He didn't tell me what the video was because I've done thousands since, but in the time between filming this and posting this video, if I can find the video, I'll actually ask him. I'll connect it in case you guys want to see it. Says, so he starts off, says, good morning, SSM. Hopefully you're doing well. I watched him and subscribed to your channel for years now and love what you do. It helps men immensely. Brother, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for watching. If you remember, a few years ago, I emailed you about being in an emotionally and physically abusive relationship where it was highly likely that she cheated. Dude, I have 99.99999, a lot of fucking 9% chance she was cheating. Eventually, she walked out on me only 5 weeks into moving into a flat together, not putting her name on the agreement, and leaving me on the hook for the full rent. Bearing in mind, I lived in London at the time. Oh, that's real nice of her. But you know what? You were free of her. Silver lining. Then you were given the chance to start over as a young guy in your mid-20s, just starting out in life. More on to her later, but I'd like to focus on the life improvements I've had since. Partly down to your advice and content. After my ex walked out on me and left me high and dry, my brother said to me, "Why are you sad? You're young, good-looking guy, living alone in London. Have as much fun as you can." Thank the Lord for brothers to point this shit out to us, huh? So I took his advice and had many women back to the flat over the next few months. I very much had zero cares in the world and had my fun. You earned it. And you know what? If that's what it took to get over her, or at least the short-term pain and all that, to build your confidence, so be it. Personally, I'd say heal a while before you do all that, but if that's what worked for you, so be it. But remember, guys, if you're going to do that to get over a girl or go through that period of time in your life, remember, never ever believe the BS that the girl's saying that she's on the pill. You know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Always wear protection, always dispose your protection, always provide your own protection. If not, you got a problem. So as a personal trainer in a private members club in London, I was loving life and going out often with my guy friends and just focusing on myself. Exactly. That's what you're supposed to do. Except so many guys don't. Eventually, I was able to save up enough money, moved out of my rental, and bought a flat closer to work. Now I have my own place and was still focusing on myself and having fun with women. Great. I'm glad you bought a place, and I'm sure that's appreciated in value since then, and now you have that asset in London. There was one gal who I met at work, a member there, and developed a budding friendship. As the years went by, and I kept her as a friend, which then developed into one with benefits, she often spoke of becoming exclusive. Aha! See, you wanted guys that you have her bring it up being exclusive, not you. So our guy here learned something. Remember, gentlemen, and we're here to learn shit. When a guy brings up being exclusive, immediately the power shifts to her having the power. Why is that? Because believe me, if she is interested, she's going to bring it up all the time. Right here, just like he said. If she's not bringing it up, guess what? She's not there yet. And you bring it up could be perceived in her eyes as being needy or weak, and therefore that might make her break up with you on the spot. Or she'll be like, okay, but she knows she has the power and feels certainty and comfortable. And when gals believe they have the power in the relationship and they don't have enough respect for you, that's when BS starts. You know this from our stories. Okay? Always better she's bringing it up, and the power play is on you. It is what it is. So she often spoke about being exclusive. However, having been burnt before by my ex, I kept a distance from getting into a relationship. Good. No need to hurry. What's the rush? You're in your prime. And by the way, by her having to constantly work at it to try to lock you down, that makes her more interested in you. Because people respect more things they have to work hard to get in life. When a pretty gal can easily get any guy like this, do you think she's going to appreciate him? No, but the gal she has to constantly work to get, she'll see you as a prize. I should like to point out that she's 9 years my junior. All right, dude. I thought you were going to say 9 years older, which a lot of guys say. We met when I was 29 and she was 20 years old. Well, there you go. Obviously, she's older now. After many months of her showing nothing but interest and me being reserved, I finally let into my feelings that began to develop and suggested we become exclusive. Okay, so after her pestering you about this and badgering you all the fucking time, finally you're like, all right, on your terms. Good. And by the way, I'm sure in the time she was wooing you and trying to lock you down, you were getting all the loving, all the special benefits you could possibly imagine because she saw you that much as a catch. At this point, I'd known her for 2 years and been spending increasingly long amounts of time together. I tell you guys, wait 6 months before agreeing to be exclusive. This guy took 2 years. Good job. This was initially at the tail end of COVID, and having flown home to Canada to be with my family, it was a text-based friendship for a time. I'm a simple guy, and I must admit, her coming over at weekends and cooking me dinner or asking for my keys to then surprise me and enter my house while I was at work only surprised me upon coming home from work with dinner, snacks, and dessert. She is very soft, non-argumentative, supportive, and a kind woman. I feel very fortunate for having my ex walk out on all those years ago. There you go. But I guarantee you, bro, if you weren't in a place where you focused on yourself and worked on yourself and got your shit together, you probably wouldn't be the person that attracted this girl here in the first place. Maybe you would have, but you probably would have gotten into a relationship with her quickly, which made her not have to work as hard for you and see you as a prize. So things all worked out. Good things came from a bad situation because you chose to go down that path. Fast forward, we've been dating now for 5 years. Good. Take your time. I have changed jobs and finally passed the test over the past year required to start basic training in the Royal Air Force as a physical training instructor. Currently, I'm in phase 2 and will be fully qualified in 12 weeks with a junior non-commissioned officer rank as a corporal. Well, congratulations, man. Living on base, I have little overhead costs and have rented out my flat in London. It doesn't make me much profit, but it pays for my mortgage and acts as a decent asset to hold for the future. Well, that's how it works in the beginning, man, because you purchase the property, and I'm assuming you didn't put too much of a down payment, just enough of a down payment. So if you can make enough in rent just to cover all your monthly expenses for the flat, you still have that asset, and that asset will appreciate in value. Last time I checked, London is one of the most expensive cities to live in the world, so that real estate value will rise in time, and eventually you'll be able to charge a higher rent because of what the market will bear in the future. So hold on to it. That's great. But just make sure you got good renters and treat them well and take care of your place. Don't let the place go to shit. Take care of that asset. In addition to now being in the Air Force, I'm able to save loads each month, currently at the starting phases of a nest egg. It isn't huge yet, but it's diversified into stock, bonds, and some crypto. It's a hell of a lot better than what I was doing. Again, you're doing great. But since you're in your early 30s, let me rephrase this. What I would do is you have the ability, because you have if you don't need this money anytime soon, you have the ability to put it in areas that are a bit more risky and let it grow with time. And primarily that's stocks. For me, bonds are for old ladies unless you can get a steal of a deal, and even then that's a small amount, But you're in your early 30s, you got years, I'm assuming, before you need this money, so you can have it in diversified index funds and stuff, stocks, probably something more in the tech area. You know what I mean? I would very minimal bonds, unless that's just who you are. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, invest how you want to invest. It's your own business. But, if you don't get money for decades, Obviously, you want to be in more riskier areas, but if you're in a diversified fund, index fund, something like that, it really isn't that risky. And markets over the long run are always going to go up. That's just a fucking fact. I could do a whole video trying to explain why that is. You're going to have corrections over time, and you're going to have black swan events that are going to impact the financial markets. But over the long run, they're always going to go up, and stocks are your best thing. But, do what makes you comfortable, of course. And again, this is not me telling you what to do. This is just entertainment purposes. I want to make that clear. Disclaimer. I got to say that shit. But anyhow, bro, you're on the right path, so good job. Now, very quickly, onto that part about my ex. Aha. One of my friends, for whatever reason, still has her on social media. I don't have any socials outside of LinkedIn. Good. You're not missing anything. So one day, when he and I were catching up, he out of nowhere informed me that he noticed her seemingly in a different relationship every few months for a while. At least 6 relationships in the past year or so. So she's just as much of a train wreck now as she was back then. This doesn't shock me at all, as it seems that she hasn't changed her ways from being manipulative, gaslighting, and emotionally abusive. Fast forward a few months, and my girlfriend just asked me, "What's your ex up to?" Due to the fact that I had told her about my conversation with my friend. Yeah, she wants to know. I told you women love drama. And obviously this is drama with a little d, but she wants to hear that your ex's life's a fucking mess. Also, I'm sure she knows that your ex left you high and dry and hurt you bad and all that, so she wants to know that, she wants to see someone that hurt her man here suffer. Having no idea, I said, I couldn't tell you, but let's see. I put her name into Google and a LinkedIn profile appeared. Well, it didn't shock me too much to see that she was working as a volunteer at a feminist shelter. A feminist shelter is a requirement to be there. You got to all have blue or green hair or some bullshit like that. I didn't even know those places really existed. Seems I dodged a massive bullet for many reasons. You did, man. But you wouldn't be where you are today if you didn't take action to focus on yourself and all that. My life has shifted in many ways since that awful experience of being walked all over. Admittedly, a simp guy to now working out 4 to 5 days a week. Part of the military job with a flat in London, UK, and a girl who's beyond supportive, kind, and cooks for me whenever I visit her. I'd like to wrap things up by thanking you for helping me on this journey, giving me some slaps in the last video, and helping men reach their true potential. You're doing God's work, my brother. Keep it up. Well, bro, it's my purpose. It's why I'm here doing this. I know you'll respect my privacy, so I'll include a picture of myself and the new gal, just to see how much better life is on the other side of the fence when you don't simp for women. Be well, and thank you for your time. And he sent me a couple pictures, and no guys I can't show you, and she's a pretty girl. Yeah, he did well. He earned it, and she's feminine looking. You can just tell by looking at her and her body language and how she carries herself and her facial expression. She's feminine. She's girly. That's what you want. That's awesome. And he's there in his military uniform. And he's doing like the officer and the gentleman thing. He's picking her up and carrying her. Yeah. But anyhow, good for you, man. And the dude's fit. He's a very in shape guy. He also says, sorry to mention it. It's of importance here. My ex was closer to my age. She's currently 32. When my friend had informed me of her serial dating, it was when she was 29. So tracks with her, no doubt panicking to find someone. Yeah, and he says also, now she's being a volunteer at the feminist shelter. I suspect she hasn't found someone. Not that her life remotely interests or concerns me. Thanks again for doing such great work. Yeah, now she's in her early 30s. She's not married, and she's working at a feminist shelter. I'm going to guess they're not going around talking about wanting to be with men over there. So she missed her chance. So ha on her. But anyhow, bro, good job for you. So guys, this is what happens when you focus on yourself. And he's not a jerk, and I'm sure he wasn't a jerk about it. He was a young guy in his mid-20s, late 20s in London, doing his job, doing his thing, hanging out with his bros, hooking up with chicks, building his confidence. And when this girl came into his life, he took his time with her. There was no rush. That's the thing that these nice guys don't get. They think, oh my God, a girl's paying attention to me, and I got to rush things. And immediately that turns them off. Or they're like, okay, I'll be in a relationship with this guy and push him around because he has no self-worth, But this guy's constantly moving up. He bought that flat in London. That was a great thing. Even if he had to stretch many pounds to do it, he made it happen. Now he's got that solid investment. He's building wealth. That's what you want to do. And he's got himself a great girl. But I'm going to caution you, man. You're now in the military. And you know what that means. You know what I said about getting married in the military. I don't care how great your girl is now. We know the stereotype. So I don't know if you're doing it just for a few years or whatever, but remember, really be careful with thinking about the whole get married thing in the military. And it doesn't make a difference if you're not in the U.S. military. It's the same thing around the world. So just be careful. And I hope that she's the exception, no matter what path you go down. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about that. And guys, you got a great story to share, definitely email me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Give me some time to get it, and I definitely will. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.